Nathan Tella out, Jordan Torunarigha in. A forward goes out, a defender comes in. Is this a good decision? Let's break it down. What's good, guys? Welcome back to EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian football. Your go-to spot for all things Super Eagles and Nigerian football at large. Today, we have some big news to break down. The NFF have announced that Jordan Torunarigha of KA Ghent is stepping in to replace the injured Nathan Tella in the latest Super Eagles squad to face Rwanda and Zimbabwe in this month's FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We're going to dive into what this means for the team, the pros and cons of this switch, and how it might shake up the team ahead of these matches. So please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Let us get into it. Okay, first, let me talk about what's going on. Nathan Tella, Bayer Leverkusen winger forward, has been ruled out of the match. This is against Rwanda and Zimbabwe with an injury. Tella has been dealing with a muscular injury for a little bit of time now. He was on the bench for Leverkusen's recent Champions League match against Bayern Munich, but it turns out he wasn't fully fit and he cannot take part in these international games. The NFF confirmed the switch today, and we're wishing him a speedy recovery. In his place, step up Jordan Torunarigha, defender for KA Ghent, who is now making a return to the Super Eagles and to the national team. I mean, we have to realize that this isn't just a random swap. Tella is an attacking talent, while Torunarigha is a centre-back. So what is the thinking here, and how is this going to affect the Super Eagles? Let's break it down with some pros and some cons. Now, for those who might not know, Nathan Tella, 25-year-old forward, he brings pace, he brings dribbling ability, he brings his flair, he brings his dynamism into the Super Eagles team. He made his debut back in November 2023 against Zimbabwe, and he has been in and out of the squad since then. When people saw him in the list to play these matches, it was a welcome return. People were happy to see him back, but unfortunately, he's now going to miss out. Meanwhile, Jordan Torunarigha is 27 years old. He's a versatile defender who has honestly had a standout season for KA Ghent in the Belgian Jupiler Pro League this season. He has played 33 games across all competitions. He has done very well. And he has only one cap for Nigeria so far, a friendly game against Mozambique in 2023. But he's got a solid pedigree this season. And of course, he has represented Germany at youth levels before switching allegiance to Nigeria. So he's a player who is not new to, high pressure situations. The Super Eagles obviously are in a tough spot when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup. And we know that these two games are must win. So Eric Schell is under some pressure to get the team firing on all cylinders as quickly as possible. So now, replacing an attacker with a defender is a bold move. But let's weigh into the good and the bad. I'll start with the positives. The first positive, defensive depth. So the original 23-man list was honestly a bit light at the back. A lot of people spoke about this. There were only 3 centre-backs, William Troost-Ekong, Calvin Bassey, and Igor Ogbu. Any injury, any suspension could have left us exposed. We would have been having to run around to figure things out, switching people like Bassey to one position or the other, switching Olajuwon to another position. So Torunarigha's inclusion bumps that up to 4. It gives Eric Schell more options, more stability at the centre-back position, especially against Rwanda, who beat us in November, and we have to be wary of. Another pro, Jordan Torunarigha's form. This guy has been a rock for Ghent this season. He's tall, he's strong, he's comfortable on the ball. He has these qualities that can show up our defense against Zimbabwe's physical forwards and Rwanda's counter-attacks. He's also played in European competition, so he's a well-versed defender, and he's someone that we can trust to deliver if he needs to. Another pro that I see to this is the tactical flexibility. Eric Schell might be thinking a bit into the future here. Torunarigha can play as a centre-back, but he can also play as a fullback if needed. So I think that versatility can allow Nigeria, the Super Eagles, to switch formations during the game, can play back 3 or can play 4-4-2 to adapt whatever the position throws at us. So that's another pro to having Torunarigha in the squad. And then 4, I'll say just bringing in that fresh motivation. Torunarigha has been out of the squad since 2023, I think. So this call-up for him is a chance for him to prove himself. A hungry player that wants to fight for his spots and knows that he might not get another chance soon. This can bring some extra fire into the squad, some extra ginger. So I'm not mad at all at this when I look at the pros. Those are some solid upsides, yeah? But let's flip the coin now and talk about some of the potential cons to making this switch of Jordan Torunarigha for Nathan Tella. Here's where it gets tricky. The first con I will say is loss of attacking flair. Nathan Tella is an attacking midfielder / winger / wingback, and he brings a lot of creativity and a lot of goal threat and dynamism into the team. With him out, We're down to 7 forwards instead of 8. In a group that we need goals to climb up the table, losing at attacking edge could potentially hurt us, especially if our big names like Osimhen or Lookman have an off day. Nathan Tella is someone that I would have trusted to bring in something different when facing the opposition. But I'm still going to say this is not a huge con because of the other attacking talents that we have. The unfortunate part is that out of the other attacking talents we have 4 strikers, 4 number 9s, and we aren't going to play with more than 2 number 9s at the time maximum. So obviously we're lacking a little bit of creativity and flair on the flanks. We now have Ademola Lookman who can play from the left. We have Moses Simon who can play from the left or the right, and we have Samuel Chukwueze who can play from the right. Another con is, it's just a mismatch replacement. This isn't a like-for-like swap. Tella's a forward, Torunarigha is a defender. Some people might say, if Shaw wanted to replace Tella, why not call up another attacker? Say a Cyril Dessers who has scored many goals, or a Paulo Nwachu, or maybe even Chidera Ejuke. Some people might be looking at that and say it's a head scratcher. But my response to that would be, we already have 4 strikers in the team. If we call up Cyril Dessers, now we have 5 strikers. It's just way too many, and we're just going to be so top heavy. And most of them are not even going to get a single minute across the 2 games. Ejuke would have brought in another winger. But then when you consider the fact that Simon primarily likes to play from the left, Lookman primarily likes to play from the left, and Ejuke primarily likes to play from the left, maybe it doesn't really solve that problem of taking away Tella who can play from the right. Like I know I said earlier that Simon can also play from the right, but it is not his preferred position. We've seen even in games where he and Lookman have started together or have been on the field together, a lot of the time they're having to swap back and forth because Simon just has that natural inkling to go towards the left. And in all honesty, that's where he thrives and that's where he does really well when he's playing for both club and for country. Let's look at another con. Just lack of time with the team. Torunarigha has only played once, I believe, for Nigeria, and that was over a year ago. So integrating him into the team with a little bit of time in camp, I'm not going to say it's going to disrupt the rhythm, but he might not be up to speed. He might not be so familiar with the players that he's going to be playing with. So that can potentially be a con. But at the end of the day, I think he's still a good player. So I'm not going to say it's the hugest con. And then con number 4, I've already kind of highlighted it earlier. It's just a missed opportunity for others. So some people might say someone like a Cyril Dessers who has been informed, has not been given a chance. Some people might even look at and say, why not Gabriel Osho, who I believe is doing better than Jonathan Torunarigha this season, and I believe is even a better overall defender than Jonathan Torunarigha. But I will just point out and say, I think the versatility of Jonathan Torunarigha is what might have beaten him or what might have made him to be selected ahead of Gabriel Osho. Because Osho is a centre-back, period. But Torunarigha can play centre-back, or if need be, can also play full-back. But there is definitely some risk there. It's a trade-off between strengthening the back line and gambling on our attack. If you ask me my final thoughts, I think Eric Schell is realizing that maybe he should have had more options in the defense in the initial list, and is trying to correct it now by bringing in Jonathan Torunarigha. It also makes me think that maybe Nathan Tella, albeit listed as a forward, was also being seen as a potential option at right back or at right wing back. If we're playing a back 3, we have to really see how we decide to set up. But given the fact that our defense has been shaky, I think we also need to prioritize defense. We know that we can score 1 or 2 goals in any given match, but we can also concede. And whenever we concede, it just seems like it is such a tall task for us to wake up and then go and win the game. So I think it is a good decision for the coach to show up the centre-back options and bring in somebody that is not so new to the team and has played at a high level. Because Ekong and Bassi, we know what they bring to the team. Igor Ogbu is literally getting his first call-up. So please, give us a 4th option in Jonathan Torunarigha. Torunarigha is a quality player. And if he hits the ground running, I think he could make a solid impact at the back for us. I would be lying if I said we're not going to miss a little bit of Tella's dynamism and spark up front. But I don't think it's the biggest deal. And these 2 games are do or die. We absolutely need to get 2 wins out of 2. It is still sort of a gamble, but it's a gamble that I think and I hope pays off for the Super Eagles of Nigeria and pays off for Eric Schell, who doesn't want by any means to get off to a bad start at the helm of the Super Eagles. So yes, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with some of the things that I've said? Do you disagree with them? Are you hyped for Torunarigha's return? Do you think it was a good decision to bring him in? Would you have brought someone else? Would you have brought in a forward? Would you have brought in a different defender? Would you have brought in even a midfielder? I mean, Frank Onyeka is still missing from the squad. So please drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please give the video a thumbs up share it with whoever you discuss Nigerian football with, and of course, subscribe so that you can keep on enjoying some high quality Super Eagles and Nigerian content. Until next time, thank you for watching. My name is AyoT. This is EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian football. See you on the next video. Bye bye, guys.